What's up guys, Troy here, back again with another YouTube video for you today. Today, we're gonna be talking about, as you see it in the title, the epidemic. I think it's an epidemic, a social epidemic of loneliness in the gay community in this video specifically. I think this spreads across all communities, whether that's gay, straight, lesbian, bi, whatever. But I'm talking about in this specific video, the epidemic of lonely gay young men in this world today. Because what are we gonna do when people have no one to cuddle with in cuddle weather? Anyway, so now I'm gonna preface this video by saying that I don't have the data. I'm not gonna be posting links to any sources because I don't know, I didn't feel like pulling that stuff up. This is just me spitballing and just giving my opinion on this is anecdotal. Let's just leave it there. All of this is based on anecdotes and personal experience. So I think the hard part about this video is that I don't think the loneliness is something that is exclusive to my generation and younger, being millennials, and I think Gen Z is the one after, or Gen Y, I don't know what it is. Everyone millennial and down. I think it's just a bit more documented, but obviously that's something that I can't really speak to because I don't know. I wasn't alive in the 70s, 80s, early 60s, or 60s in general. So I don't know what life was like back then dating wise. You can kind of just go based on stories that parents tell. But I do feel that now more than ever, and it's kind of corroborated by people who are a bit older, that it seems that young people now more than ever don't get into committed relationships as often. Not just that, not even just talking about marriage, but just dating in general. I think the rate, the last time I checked, I don't know the time periods of this, but I know at one point the rate of single adults in the US was something like 36%. It was in the mid to low 30s. I don't know how long ago that was, but I know now in 2022, the rate of single people, and this extends to the gay community as well, is in the range of 50% now. So 50% of people are considered unmarried and single, which is like, that's 1 in every 2 people. When you get a group of 5 or you get a group of 4, 2 of those people are probably single, or they could be a couple, both of them, but 2 of those people are probably single, just statistically speaking. That's quite a few people. And it makes you think about the fact that and that's, I think, where a lot of people lament is like, why can't I find someone when there are all these single people available? Why aren't they all single together and then thus no longer single and in a couple? Well, I think there are a few reasons for that. One, I think, and again, this is, God, I should have brought the service. Anyway, or the studies. But there was a study I looked over that you could see in line with the rise of social media, the rise in, I want to say, what's the word? More antisocial behavior. I think that's actually what they used in the study. But as social media usage increased, you saw less sociability and just more antisocial behavior amongst people. So, more time they spend online, less time they spend with actual people talking and making connections. So I think that's probably, in my opinion, the biggest factor is just that there is, again, people don't know how to have a conversation. I should have muted my phone first. Anyway, people don't really talk to each other as much anymore in person. Everything is done online, which there are a lot of people who have formed relationships online, but I think that most healthy relationships I've seen have started, via in-person. They met in person and you chatted, whatever, got a drink, and you could kind of share and feel that energy, where there's something about the online interaction which I think is so genuine, but it is hard to form that human connection when there's just a screen there. You're not face to face with a person to really, it's just different energy. I'm sure everyone here who watches this video has probably experienced maybe being on a dating app or talking to someone online, and then when you meet them in person, although on text you guys seem to click and you're like best friends, when you meet in person, the energy just isn't there. It just feels off. Like, not in a shady way or anything like that, but just you don't click or resonate with this person. And that's what's happening widespread amongst young people. We foster these online relationships, and people are just using their social skills. They're losing their ability to go up and flirt with people and just start up small talk with a stranger. It's not as common as it used to be. People don't generally, or at least the younger you get, you're not really seeing too many young folk just walking up, starting conversations with strangers. They kind of keep to themselves now. I think people are becoming a bit more introverted, and social media is not helping. It's also not helping in the fact that it creates, for a lot of people, this unrealistic standard of what a relationship and what a partner should be. People base their standards for, their significant other on what they see on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, TikTok. They see these couples, he's like, I don't know, whether it's the standard of their financial status, their social status, whether they be celebrities or multi-millionaire, billionaire couple, or this super chiseled, just perfectly fit couple, or whatever the dynamic may be. It creates these standards, or say maybe expectations, that is what my relationship should also be, as opposed to what most relationships really are, which is just two people learning to coexist and build a life together. There's really not much more to it than that. I mean, obviously there is, but you get what I mean. But social media is kind of put on a pedestal certain attributes that aren't what I would consider a foundation to a long-lasting relationship. We've highlighted and brought to, we've made priority to, or given priority to, things like I said, wealth, or specifically physical appearance, or their social status, the following number count, the persona they built online, which on their own, none of these things are bad. There's nothing wrong with having wealth. There's nothing wrong with having a lot of followers on social media or any of those things. It's just when you prioritize that as your primary thing, like obviously looks matter. Everyone is aware of that. You need to be attracted to, on some level, the person that you would potentially date. But that shouldn't be, in my opinion, that should not be the number one thing on your list of priorities for a partner, because there are so many things. One, those looks, that's not going to keep you there. That's why there's that expression behind every hot person, there's a guy or girl who's tired of them. It's like, the looks, granted, you don't stop viewing them as attractive, but the looks lose their value over time, because there are certain things that you tolerate in the beginning because you find them attractive, and then over time you realize, oh, it's fucking annoying. I don't care how hot they are, because I just don't want to deal with that. Anywho, these things shouldn't be the priorities of building and starting a relationship. It should be shared goals, common interests, whether that be in religion or your financial goals that you want to achieve together in a realistic manner, your family aspirations, your religious background. I think I said that, political affiliations and views, your moral compass, and where your ethics lie together. Those are the things that long term are gonna keep you together, as opposed to having a trophy partner or someone who's rich. But that's what social media, I feel like, has contributed to and highlighted and made it seem like that should be, priority number one, when it shouldn't. Also, and I think one of the bigger contributors over the last 5 or so years, especially during the pandemic, is dating apps, which, you can run the gamut: the Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, Grindr, what else? I don't know, Chappie or Tammy, whatever. They have a bunch of them. Plenty of Fish, Coffee Meets Bagel, OkCupid, all that stuff. The thing about those is, similar to what social media did and does, they, especially with an app like Tinder, where the main thing that is put on display and highlighted for you is just their physical appearance. Which again, obviously, at least for me, that's why I would never do a blind date. I wouldn't do the I don't know, I wouldn't match with a person if I can't see their face to see what they look like. Because at least for me, the attraction needs to be there for me to want to pursue anything romantically. Sure, I can grow to like you as a person, but there's still a certain base level of attraction that needs to exist. Anywho, with dating apps like Tinder, like same thing with Bumble and even OkCupid and things like that to an extent, they highlight and put on a pedestal, I feel like, the physical appearance over anything else. And it almost feels like, especially with Tinder, it almost feels like like you're collecting Pokemon cards, but they're just people and matches, you know? They've pretty much gamified dating, I would say, in that they did it in a way that there's never really an end, or you never really win. It's just a never-ending game. It's like Minecraft. Sure, you can get to the ender or the end or whatever it's called and fight the dragon and win, but the game never actually ends. There's no ending to Minecraft. But they've developed in a way where you just get hooked. That is what Tinder is, because ultimately they make money with having people on their app and viewing ads. They are not going to make money if you get into a relationship and thus delete the app. So although the app is made in a way where technically you can meet someone and go on a date and form a relationship, it's not designed with that, I feel like, as priority number one for them. Theirs is to keep you on the app. So that is why it's designed in a way where you don't necessarily feel much. It's a lot. That could be a whole video on its own, but yeah, that aspect of it where just the gamification of dating through dating apps is, whew, that's a big boy in the loneliness thing. Also, I think just because, especially with gay men, we did not get to, for most of us, it's different now, but we didn't get the typical high school or junior high school dating experience, most of us. Because back then, when I was in high school in 2006 to 2010, being gay wasn't accepted. Gay marriage wasn't legal yet. People weren't okay with that. That wasn't the norm anywhere. And I lived in New York City, so I wasn't like in, the super deep red South part of the South where, people just openly hate gay people. Like, it wasn't like that, but it was also, there wasn't any acceptance of it either. So you, in high school and growing up, you didn't get that experience dating because you couldn't really date a guy, because for the most part, I don't think I knew a single gay person growing up, like at all. High school, junior high, everything. Like, I don't think I met a gay person until like, I was like 21, if I'm being realistic, like at least that I was aware of. Because from after high school, I went to the military. Definitely didn't meet any gay people there in the Marines. And then afterwards, I think that's when I went to a gay bar, is I think the first time that I saw or actually met gay people. So you gotta think, the first like 20 years of my life, I have essentially no interaction with gay people whatsoever. So dating is non-existent there because I did not meet any gay people. I didn't really understand what the concept of being gay was. I just heard it and you were told it was a bad thing. So you just didn't do that. So wow, stutter. You did not get the opportunity to date and practice the way your straight, peers and other students did, which leads to when you are older, in your mid 20s or whenever you come out, like I came out in my very early 20s, like 22, I want to say, you are basically playing catch up because you don't have the same dating experience that a lot of your straight counterparts do. So you have to, you're almost living your teenage years as an adult, which is weird. That's why you see so many gay people, I think, in their 20s and into their 30s doing just dating nonstop or doing a lot of casual sex and casual meetups, and just figuring out the process of dating because, again, a lot of us didn't get that when we were younger. So that contributes, I think that's one of the biggest, if not the biggest contributor for gay people, is just that lack of experience that we have. So we start significantly later, which the later you start, it gets more difficult, I would say, to meet people because you have less and less free time. Anyway, that's a contributor also. And one of the probably the second biggest for the gay community is we hyper focus on, I'm not gonna say hyper focus, but we put far more of an emphasis on sex than our straight counterparts or lesbian or, you know, trans or et cetera, et cetera. We are a very sex focused group of people, which makes sense. We're men. We like to have sex. It's great. But that has become pretty much like priority number one for most people. That's why on dating apps, when it comes to gay dating, it's really just like all of them have more or less become Grindr, where it's just you see the same people and they all pretty much want to just kind of have casual sex or a friend with benefits, but a lot of them don't form relationships. Obviously, there are still a lot of people who do, because it's not like, I think for gay people, it's pretty much on par. Loneliness-wise numbers, it's still around a 50% mark. So 1 in 2 people are probably in a relationship and off happy. So there's still a lot of people who are actually looking and who aren't single, but there's also a staggeringly high number who are. And those are the ones who, you know, when you put sex to the forefront, which I don't think the way we treat it here in the US is necessarily the best way either, where we treat sex like it's a taboo subject and you should never mention it. I don't think that's the right way to go about things, because then you just lead to inexperienced and stupid adults who don't know jack shit about sex, which is stupid. But I also don't think you should go the complete 180 or do a complete 180 and make it just hyper sex focused, where like there are so many aspects of being gay that somehow become about sex, and I'm always just like, I don't even know how this relates, but somehow it became about a sex thing. And I'm just like, and again, sex is great. We all know that. Everyone knows that. Like, this is not a secret to anyone, but it doesn't need to be everything that we do. Anyway, yeah, and the issue with this topic is, because I'm trying to wrap this up. I just realized I would have kept rambling for a while. I gotta wrap it up and kind of put a nice little bow on it, which is, I wish there was an easy solution to this outside of like something drastic like getting rid of or completely limiting social media usage, or just moving off of dating apps, or there's really not any one solution, especially when it comes to being gay, because it's kind of hard to meet people unless you are in a major city. Like, I live in Los Angeles, so it's very easy for me to just go to West Hollywood and meet gay people. But if you don't live somewhere like this where you don't have that, it'd be really difficult to meet people. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I have the solution, nor do I know what would be the best way out of this. I just know it's not the way to live, you know? Because obviously, like I said, I'm not lonely. I don't feel like I need anyone, obviously. That's like the cliche thing. It's like, oh, I don't need anyone to be happy. Obviously, we're aware of that. But most people, myself included, do want someone there to share and create stories with and build a future and history with. But it's hard to do when society keeps just adding more and more and more speed bumps and roadblocks. And not just society, but ourselves. We add those and make it more and more difficult, whether you make yourself, whether you subconsciously or consciously, emotionally unavailable, or you intentionally push people away, or you only seek out casual encounters, or you don't put yourself out there to meet people. We create our own roadblocks too. So those two things, just the outside roadblocks and our own, just come together, create this perfect little storm of just this giant swell that I can't surf over that. I can't surf over this swell. I can barely swim. And I'm supposed to make it over this 40-foot wave? Maybe if it was 20 feet, maybe then I could. But when it's 40, I can't get over that. It's too high. Anyway, I would like for you guys to leave your comments down below and let me know what you think about just the rampant loneliness. And if you are not part of this lonely group, get the fuck off my video. Like, if you out there watching this with your significant other, yo, cut this shit off. Tell your girlfriend or boyfriend to leave the room. Get out. Yo, you done. This is single people only. What are you doing in here? This fucking guy. Anyway, I'm kidding. Yeah, just let me know what you think about which I can't imagine anyone does, because what is the solution? If you have a solution to help people or some advice that you give to folk who are suffering from this fucking sickness, this epidemic of loneliness, drop your thoughts below, because I'd love to hear it, because I got nothing. I'm not a guru. I'm just pointing out a problem and hoping someone else out there, one of you brilliant, beautiful people out there, can solve it, because I cannot. Anyway, yeah, Saturday videos. This is the second one in a row. Hopefully, and I'm not gonna say hopefully, I'm gonna say I am gonna have another one next week, which is Christmas Eve. Shit. Also, leave me, happy holidays. Let me know what you're doing for the holidays down in the comments below, because yeah, I unfortunately cannot go home for Christmas this year. All of my family's back in New York and I will be here in LA, so. But yeah, let me know what you're doing for the holidays, and I hope you do have a very Merry Christmas. But I'll be telling you this next week, because like I said, I'm releasing another video next week. This is the end of this one. I can't keep talking anymore, guys, because I will ramble forever. Like and subscribe if you liked the video, because I know you liked the video if you made it to this point where I'm telling you to like and subscribe, because you would not have watched this whole thing. Like 20, I don't even know how long this is. It's gotta be 20. This is a solid 20. You gave me a solid 20 and you can't even like the video? I'm a lowballer and say you gave me a solid 15. You gave me a good 15 and you like the video. Just hit that like button. I don't even know what that does. I don't know what that does algorithm-wise, but I know I'm supposed to tell you that because that's a part of making YouTube videos. So hit that like button. You ain't hit it. You probably did. You probably did. You cool people. My Xbox is calling me. I gotta go do that right quick. All right, I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys. Yeah.